Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another Relic Raiser video. I recently, of course, did another 10 metal bands you haven't heard but should, and it was really cool to see how many of you still view the channel. There's so many people doing this, I guess. I thought maybe it would have interest would have fallen a bit, but it was really good, so it's really nice to be back doing this. And yeah, this is my Relic Raiser series, which if you're not familiar, rather than talking about new upcoming bands, I'm kind of talking about cult classics. Some of them are bigger than others. There's one of the biggest heavy metal bands of all time in this video, and there's lost treasures of the past. It's more just digging back in time. This video is all vinyl. I've got a crate of records next to me. Some original, some repress, and yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about each one because, again, it's not more about introducing the bands to you as much as just showing some cool records. So I kind of, if you like the sound, if you like the look of it, go and listen to it. It's a bit more old school music. It's a bit more old school approach in that you see the cover, maybe take a chance on it, except you don't actually have to pay for it. You can go and listen on YouTube, then buy it. I'm not going to dictate what to do. Anyway, first up, we have Messiah Force with The Last Day. Really cool Canadian speed metal. This one I'm going to talk about a bit more because I saw their reunion show at Keep It True and got all of their autographs, and somehow they still have the entire original 5-piece lineup, which is insane to me as a band from the 80s to still have that. Next we have Hungary's Pokolgap with an album title Pokoli Shimagyatek. I'm so sorry, it's that wasn't going to happen, was it? But yeah, this is the High Roller reissue. Next, of course, Destruction, Sentence of Death. Probably my favourite release by the band. Some great German thrash or first wave black metal, depending which side of that fence you want to sit on. Tell me in the comments, do you think are bands like Destruction and Sodom's early days, are they thrash or black or death? What do you call it? To me, that's black metal, but I'm sure that's going to annoy some people. Next, Imperator, their single album, The Time Before Time, cult Polish death metal. Saw these guys in London last year with Mystifier. I was very impressed to see that they were playing live again and just how tight they were. Sabat, Japan's premier black metal force with their second album, Evoke. This is the Hell's Headbangers version. Very nice colour variant there. Looking forward to seeing those guys in Denmark this year. Next we have Imprecation, Theurgia Goetia Suma, I think is how you say it. Texas Death Metal Royalty. This is their compilation with the demos. I guess some people kind of treat it like a debut album because it's just such a cult release, this exact compilation. Rare, colourful piece of artwork by Chris Moyen of like Blasphemy, Arcscope, Black Witchery fame. Next, we have another one I was really happy to see reissued, which is Secret Sudaria, the second album from Italy's Mortuary Drape, and in my opinion, one of the best black metal bands of all time. This is the double LP, 45 RPM version on Iron Tyrant. It sounds killer. Gorgeous booklet, really nice layout, gatefold vinyl. Very happy with that one. Next up, we have Sepultura, Morbid Visions. This is the 1991 pressing, I think it was, with a Bestial Devastation stuck on the end. I've recently picked this one up in Germany at Keep It True. Love this. For me, this is Sepultura. Like, the two albums and I guess the EP had a different logo, but after Schizophrenia, my interest ebbs and flows. Like, I like Beneath the Remains and other bits, but to be honest, I only ever really put on Morbid Visions, Schizophrenia, and Bestial Devastation, personally. Next, we have Possessed with The Eyes of Horror. For my money, the best Possessed release. As much as I love the two 80s albums and even the comeback album, The Eyes of Horror, I just think all of these songs are so ferocious and the recording is just perfect. I just scratched my face with the corner of that. Brilliant. Next, what do we have? Also, I have the backs facing to me, and I put the vinyl behind the sleeve because that's the thing I've started doing in the last year, just because shelving is a little tight, as you might be able to see in the corner, and seam splits, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's a surprise to me what order these are coming out as well, actually. Okay, we have Metallica, No Life Till Leather. Now, it's not maybe such a secret that Metallica are a band I have quite mixed feelings about. They were a band I got into quite early, and I really like the first three albums, but there's a bit of a kind of asterisk next to it, and I think that was because I discovered a lot of bands like Creator and Slayer at the same time, if not earlier. I think some of the impact was lost, and maybe hearing Ride the Lightning as your first thrash album might have had. So, to be honest, I don't really listen to Metallica very often in terms of albums, That said, this demo is one of my favorite kind of more speed metal recordings ever, and I play this one all the time, and to me, this destroys every single album. I know that's a bold statement, and I'm gonna get crucified for it, but this is the best Metallica release by a country fucking mile for my money. And I think Dave Mustaine was the most talented person that's ever touched that band, alongside maybe Cliff. So yeah, you know, I'll look forward to getting all the interactions and sweet nothing that YouTube would pay me, because I don't monetize my video because technology scares me and I don't know how. Next we have Poison, the good Poison. Another comment that I'm probably going to pay for. This is their Bestial Death demo. This is German death thrash, reissued, and I can't remember now who by. Oh, Fuck Off and Die Records. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, really killer demo. If you thought Hellhammer was raw, this just, you know, it's going to redefine raw for you, in my opinion, and is truly great death metal the way it was intended. Should maybe not start stacking these too high. Next we have Immolation, Dawn of Possession. I had a spoiler alert on the label there. Thanks to Listenable for reissuing this one. I love this. The first couple Incantation, Altars of Madness. I love that sound of death metal where it's just so furiously evil. Obviously the first 4 Deicide for me. I don't know where people's standard cutoff point is, but I like most Deicide, but the first 4 to me is just 10 out of 10 after 10 out of 10. But yeah, anyway, we're not talking about Deicide. Maybe I should be, but I don't have any on vinyl, only cassette and CD. So if you want to give me the first 4 Deicide on vinyl, write my email. Yeah, killer release. Immolation fucking rules. Great live too. Only saw them for the first time 2 years ago, I think. Next we have Exciter. I'm pretty sure I've talked about Heavy Metal Maniac, and you know, maybe I've talked about some of these bands, maybe some of these exact releases. I don't know. I don't keep a list as much as that may surprise some, as I have a proclivity towards lists. But Long Live the Loud is a great album. I love the first 4 Exciters, and in fact, Unveiling the Wicked is one of my favorite albums from Canada, and I know that one gets a bit of a mixed review for its more heavy metal rather than thrashy speed sound. But Long Live the Loud, I think, is a really great album, and I think this is far enough into the video that the singular boob featured on the front cover won't get me crucified by some algorithm of titty-hating AI monstrosities, and I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, Long Live the Loud. You know, it is what it says. Fuck you if you don't like Exciter. Next we have Hellstar, one of my favourite US power metal releases, their debut album Burning Star. This is on a Roadrunner or RC, I always get those mixed up. Yeah, Roadrunner. Another original that I gotta keep it true. That was just a great place to go and buy records, if nothing else. You know, the flawless lineup isn't good enough, the record fair should be, which is going to be in the hall next year. But it's sold out, so if you've not got a ticket, you know, grow up. Yeah, Hellstar, there's 2 cover versions. I have both the CD and the vinyl, and they both have this cover. I would quite like the one with the more ghoulish cover, because I prefer that one, but truly melodic, epic, speedy power metal. Great stuff. Really good live too, actually. I was surprised how good live they were. Next we have Vomitor, Australia's death metal force. This is their EP Prayers to Hell. I was going to say Prayers for Hell. I'm glad I looked at. It's the on Invictus. I don't know if there's any other pressings, but Ireland's Invictus is the place to get it. Anyway, Vomitor rules. You know, if you like proper death metal, this is a no-brainer. And I love their albums, but for me, this is the pinnacle of their stuff. It's just pure savagery. Now we're down to our last couple. Last 2 actually. So, Samael, this is Worship Him, of course. The first 3 Samael records to me are just sublime, truly amazing band, and it's a shame to me because I've seen them once doing a normal set and once doing an old school set as advertised with this logo, which I will see again at Cosmic Void this year. So again, old school set, old logo on the poster, and having seen the kind of modern set, I was kind of like, okay, so now they're going to have acoustic drums, only play the old songs. And I was half correct. They played old songs. Great. Very happy with the set list. But they had a lot of this ambient stuff and the kind of techno-electric drums. And it just was a bit like, I don't know. It was good, but with a very big asterisk. Because to me, it could have sounded old school. They're more than musically capable. They're a superb band, musically speaking. And simply having acoustic drums and just playing it as they actually played it, assuming that this is acoustic drums and not just very, 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 very cleverly done electric drums, but I don't believe it to be the case. But yeah, anyway, if they made it sound less EDM next time around, you're going to use this logo, I'd be very, very grateful. I think this was, yeah, Osmos. And now for the last two, sorry, there was two left. My favorite Wasp record is Wasp. I love The Last Command, but this album to me is just the pinnacle of heavy metal in that moment in America. And there's, you know, a darkness on this album, but it's just so catchy and fun at the same time. And yeah, I love this album to bits. Especially, this is one of those albums that I think is really B-side heavy. Like Hellion, Sleeping in the Fart, On Your Knees, Tormentor, and The Torture Never Stops is probably the best 5-song run on a Wasp record. So yeah, love this one. Means a lot to me. Listened to that a lot in high school, and I saw Wasp when I was maybe 14 or something. Yeah, I'm gonna say 14 on the 35-year tour. Really great live still. And finally, we have Celtic Frost with Emperor's Return. I'm sure I've had Frost on one of these videos. If I haven't, I'm an idiot. But for me, for my money, again, I'm an EP lover over here. Emperor's Return is the best Celtic Frost for me personally. I love up to and including, I can't think, Into the Pandemonium. I really love that record. Mixed opinions on that one, I know. But yeah, Emperor's Return and Morbid Tales are the two EPs. Well, I guess Morbid Tales is an album, but arguments aside, Emperor's Return is the best, and that's definitely a fucking EP, so yeah. And that was my new Relic Raiser. I think that was 17 or 18 records. I was going to put some CDs at the end, but I didn't want it to be overly long. I like just firing through and just showing it, and then rather than you guys listen to me drone on, in fact, feel free to stop the video at this point, because there's not going to be any more records, and what's the fucking point if there's no records? But for those still choosing to listen, I just, you know, I wanted it to be all vinyl, this comeback, and I didn't want it to be overly long. And now you've spent 10, 12 minutes of your life watching this, and hopefully the night is young and you can go and play all these killer records and, you know, enjoy some real music rather than some idiot on the internet. And also support Tyrann. They're not an old band, but they sound like one, and they're from Sweden. And yeah, both their albums rock, and I can't wait for the third one. And until next time, stay metal.